Everybody, and welcome to another adventure. Kim and I are heading to South Beach State Park, which is just south of Newport, Oregon, on the Oregon coast. Going there for the weekend, and looks like we're gonna have some pretty nice weather. What's in the 60s?
It's in the 60s there, yeah.
And sunny, which is kind of unheard of. Summertime, so it's not unheard of, but it doesn't happen a lot.
Well, the forecast does show wind. So
yeah, like what, almost 20 miles an hour?
10 to 20 mile an hour winds, so we'll see.
It should be fun. Should be an interesting trip. This is the first camping trip that we're going to have without Daisy, unfortunately, so it's kind of bittersweet as far as that goes. We're going back to the same place as we went when we found out that we had to put her down. South Beach was where there's no video on it because it wasn't a great weekend for us, so we didn't make a video at that time. And so it's going to be kind of weird to go back there and stay, but gotta do it, I guess. And hope you guys enjoy. Okay, what are we at?
We're at 3,400.
3,400 for the truck. Going forward. Going forward. Right about there.
50-50, there's a tree.
Come around, there's only about 5 vehicles. I'm just waiting to make some room up there.
Okay. No problem. All right, so we're here, and as you can see, there's a long line of people trying to get in. The check-in at this state park is at 4 o'clock. They let you check out at 1, check-in's at 4, and like I said, this is the second time we've been here. And the last time we were here, we got here early and we had to wait a couple hours, I think, right?
Yeah,
There's parking area for us, so they let us park. But with COVID and stuff, they're really being pretty picky about checking in early, where normally you can get checked into a lot of these places early. So anyway, they're gonna have us pull back behind some of these rigs here. There's probably a good 7 or 8. And then it sounds like they're gonna let us check in, but it's 2 o'clock now. My guess is by the time we get checked in, it's probably gonna be half an hour or an hour probably. So.
He said it was going pretty quick, so we think that they're just lining cars up here because there's not that much room out there to line up, because you have to go to the little booth to check in, so we'll see.
It's a nice parking area over here though.
Yeah. Group
camp 3, so it looks like group camp over here.
Yeah, this is where the group camp is, which is closed because of COVID, so they're just letting us temporarily use their parking lot, which last time we came through it was all blocked off here. You couldn't even come back here. Hello.
Yeah, so the folks here are super nice. Like I said, it's just crazy busy trying to get in here in the summertime during the weekends. It's just what you expect if you come to the Oregon coast. If you could try to come during the week, all the better. But even then, it's the summertime just always going to be packed. So if you can find maybe a chance to come in the fall, that would probably be our best suggestion. If you come in the winter, you're going to get the awesome storms. But again, you're going to get a lot of rain and what have you. So we're going to get some pretty crazy wind the next couple days, but it's supposed to be almost 70 degrees, which is great for the Oregon coast. All right, what do you got, Mask Marauder?
We got a map, and we got our ticket for our window. You're gonna head like we did last time. Welcome everyone to South Beach State Park. It's situated next to the Yaquina Bay Bridge in the southern part of Newport and stretches several miles down the Oregon coast. This historic park offers a variety of recreational opportunities. There's a paved jetty trail that is a perfect place to jog or ride a bike. They also have an equestrian trail to the beach that begins at the South Jetty Equestrian Trailhead. You can park next to the trailhead and enjoy a beautiful sunset by horseback. They have a playground area, horseshoe pits, and a 9-hole disc golf course that are near the campground. They have a hospitality center where you can get maps, brochures, purchase souvenirs or camp items, or to check out free discs and horseshoes. Kayak tours are offered 7 miles south of the campground during July through Labor Day weekend. Paddles, kayaks, and life jackets are provided, and an interpretive guide takes guests on a peaceful 2.5-hour expedition up the pristine freshwater marsh. Other activities around the park include fishing, crabbing, boating, surfing, and beachcombing. Attractions nearby include the Yaquina Bay Lighthouse, marine life exhibits at the Hatfield Marine Science Center, and the Oregon Coast Aquarium. Within the campground, there are 227 electrical sites with water, 60 tent sites, 27 yurts, a group camp, a hiker-biker camp, flush toilets, firewood, an RV dump station, and 1 extra vehicle is allowed per site.
This is one of Kim and I's favorite campsites on the Oregon coast. So if you have any questions or want any information about this campsite, please don't hesitate to comment below, and we would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Look at all this room for activities.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt you got there.
You like that?
Look at how cute that is. Little camper, little trees. Yeah, so we're selling merch now. Just kidding, we're not selling any merch. We'll never be selling any merch. I just made that for Kim because I thought it was cool. And so no, you can't order it. Nobody would want to wear a JK's Adventure shirt anyway. But if you did, I mean, I guess you could buy one for like $20-some. That's what we paid for. But we're not selling merch, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, so nice spot, nice level spot. If you do come here, this is Loop E, and they back up to this, field area. But when we first came in, all of those ones that were on that front row over there, they back not to the beach, but closest to the beach. And so you got what, a quarter-mile walk, I think, to the beach. And there's trails and what have you. So if that's what you're looking for, then those are really good spots. But yeah, these are pretty nice. So all right, so a couple more things to do to get set up here, and then we'll see what's next on the agenda. All right, Kim just noticed as we're walking by that we have a low tire. All right, so my mom got me a gift for Christmas where it has a pump. What is that whole thing? It does.
It's called a peak. It's a power station.
Power station 1200.
So it's got jumper cables. So what I did before we left the house is I fully charged it. So you can use it to basically charge anything. It's got USB. Here's the charger so you can charge it, but it shows here it's got an air compressor on it. 60 psi, 15 psi, and when we left today, everything was fine. They're Goodyear tires, which isn't fantastic, being that they keep exploding everywhere. I've only had them, we've still got plenty of tread, but something's off. All right, so thank goodness for Kim bringing this little compressor. I was able to get that tire pumped up. Peak, that's Spanish, can't read Spanish. Peak 1200 peak amp power station. I'll leave a link down below just in case you need something like this, because we would have been really in trouble without having this. And the fact that it's got jumper cables too. It's got a USB, so you can charge USBs, which is pretty cool. It's got a 110 volt connection, jump, and then can pump up the tire. So we'll let it see what happens in the next day after tonight and see if it has a leak in it. I felt around, didn't feel any kind of nail or anything, don't hear anything, so it could just be a small leak. So hopefully we'll be able to just get home, would be ideal. All right, so we're on one of the mini trails that they have here at the campsite that lead directly to the beach. They got multiples, some that lead to the jetty. There's a day use area where you can get right to it. So the nice thing about these trails that lead to the beach, for the most part, you can take a paved trail all the way there. So if you have a bike, a skateboard, what have you, you can get directly to the beach from a concrete path. They also have some of these paths that lead to sand trails. So of course you wouldn't be able to take your bikes, but the nice thing is they probably have 5-6 different entrances to the beach. All kinds of options. So and it's got to be at least a couple miles. I know for a fact it's a couple miles of paved trail. So got a lot of options for exercise, or just want to take the family for a ride on the bike or what have you. Kids can come out here and do what kids do and have a good time. So definitely one of the nicest things about this campsite is the trail system and the proximity to the beach. That's weird. It says here in 1940,
The shoreline was here. The beach is way out there. And it asks if I know why, and no, I don't know why.
Here we find another one. 1830. The shoreline was here. You can't even see where we were.
No, I mean, you're talking a quarter of a mile now.
Wow. So I had read up on the observation deck that it was something to do with the jetties, and building the jetties changes how the sand forms, and they said like every year you end up with more beach.
So like a lot of campsites, they got a little theater here where they do, you know, interpretive type stuff for especially for kids, but for really anybody that wants to learn about the area. And of course, due to COVID, closed down, but hopefully we'll be back again when things are back to normal and we can experience some of that. So a little bit of a scary moment, sitting in we're sitting in the trailer, and an old couple pulled in next to us and we're starting to set up their camp, and noticed the lady wasn't doing well, so she sat down, and all of a sudden the husband started taking a towel and wiping her mouth. Looked like she started to drool, thinking she might have had a stroke, and so EMS and fire and what have you showed up, and of course we weren't going to sit there and try to film any of that, so we're on our way now to get out and see town. But you know, it's unfortunate those type of things happen, especially in a park like this. Kim, you know, once I saw something was going on, Kim went over to see if she was okay, and the husband was kind of in shock and was shaking a little bit and was on the phone with 911. So Kim was able to go and talk with one of the hosts, and unfortunately they didn't have anybody that was trained medically. So I guess it's good to at least have a little bit of medical training just in case. It took them, you know, we're at the coast, and it was a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long time
before they showed up, which is
we're also tucked back in the park too. Yeah. We're way deep in, so they would have had to come all the way around. But luckily, by notifying the host, he let the front gate know, and he said if needed they would have traffic control, so they were able to help to keep all the cars off the road so that the ambulance and fire truck could get in. So
might be just a good thing to get certified with, you know, your CPR or basic EMT type stuff. I've got a certification, but it was a long time ago. I'm sure I could still do some basic CPR and some basic first aid, but always good to have just in case, because when you're waiting 15 or 20 minutes, you know, that could be a matter of life and death for somebody. So anyway, hopefully she'll be okay, and we'll get back and they'll be all good, but nothing like coming the first day of camping and having to deal with that.
Yeah,
so
they just pulled in and we're just starting to put out their tents, and I mean, they hadn't even put the tent up yet. So
yeah. Praying for the best. So we're walking through the tent section of the park, and it's actually really nice back here. This is only for tents, very quiet, and it doesn't seem to be very packed at the moment, but we got really nice sights back here, so I'm pretty impressed. If you are a tent camper, I think you'd really enjoy this place. Now that guy had it made. He had a motorized longboard with a GoPro hooked up. Had about every single pad that you could ever have on every single bone in his body.
He had a helmet, he had elbow pads, he had knee pads.
He was definitely, he's protected. But he was going around videoing the whole park. So now, Kim, my next investment for my YouTube channel is going to be a motorized longboard. And on another note, a little bit of good news. The lady that had the medical issue yesterday, her husband had come back late yesterday, picked up all their camping equipment and had left. And then now they're back again today and got everything set back up. So pretty neat to see that at least they're back and she's doing good enough to be able to camp, because that was
and
kind of a scary situation.
She's up and helping him move around, so get everything set up. So looks like she's doing much better.
So that was the day use area, which if you want to drive it from the camp, depending on where you are, if you're on the front of the camp, you don't even have to. You just walk to it. But walking wise, maybe 10-15 minutes to get to the coast. If you drive it, a couple minutes. We just happened to drive down here because we wanted to get a video for you guys of the day use area. So anyway, that's the beach access from South Beach. All right, so we're taking the little trail here. It's half mile from the campsite, and then you can walk out to the coast, and then there's also a jetty. And Kim reminded us as well that they have disc golf here. So they have an 18-hole disc course. So if you have discs and you like to play disc golf, bring them. But just be ready for some wind. Probably be the toughest disc golf you ever played. You'll probably lose half of everything you've got by the time you get done. This is cool though. This is like a normal coast trail though.
Yeah. All the shrubbery.
So that's the cool thing about coming camping is that Kim and I have been to Newport, I don't know, 50,000 times. And we never get a chance to really walk around much because you're driving down here. And then now when you camp, you just have more time to come and see stuff. And so we're walking underneath the big bridge here. And they've got walkways out into the pier and ways to get up and over the bridge. I think they say you can walk the bridge, so we're gonna maybe try that. And they also have ships and stuff come through. You can actually come over here and watch them come in. So pretty neat little spot. Something that we would have never noticed before because we just kind of drove through town and went to the old part of town a lot, which is neat, and we'll show you that.
You had certain destinations. When you come to Newport, you want to go here, 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 and here, but you don't. We never really got out and ventured to see different stuff. But all we did here was we left the campground, headed towards the jetty. We walked to the jetty, and then you could continue walking. There's this nice concrete path all the way over. So all kinds of stuff to explore.
Alright, so that ends our trip here at South Beach. The reason why we didn't get to finish me backing is because it was I couldn't get it. I had to actually go the opposite way that I was supposed to. Kim had to get out and stop traffic, or not stop traffic, but just make sure I had room for traffic because there was no way that I could turn. There was just too many trees, and I didn't have the radius to be able to back up and not hit the trees. So instead of doing damage to my trailer, I just went the opposite way. So if you do come to South Beach, just pay attention to those recommended lengths.
Site was 32 feet long for a 25-foot trailer, but it's probably meant for like a motorhome only. If you go anything over, because yeah. I mean, with only 25 feet, we still it's just the way the tree was placed.
All right, so that's it for the trip to South Beach. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you ever are coming to the Oregon coast, highly recommend it. It's pretty central. So it gives you an opportunity to see lots of different parts of the coast and state park. So well run, well maintained. They always got rangers out monitoring everything and just all the amenities that you would expect. Of course, with COVID, some things were locked down, but at least we were able to get out and actually do some camping, which is pretty cool. Summertime, super busy. Sometimes you have to book these things months in advance if you plan on coming in the summer. If you plan to come around September-ish, that's when all the kids and stuff are back to school, so you have a better chance September, October. But then your chance in the weather, which we enjoy, being Oregonians, we're fine with the rain and the wind and things of that nature. But if you're coming from out of state and you're expecting good weather, you really have to try to come in July and August. So plan on booking these things 8 to 9 months in advance. If we were you, that's how we would do it. That's what we have to do. Even as locals, we have to book it out 8 to 9 months in advance. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Safe travels.
See ya.